What is going on today, my fellow YouTube viewers, and welcome back to a whole brand new episode of one of my Bleach chat review sessions. Now, I hope you guys have already read the chapter and enjoyed it as much as I did, so without further ado, let's get into this review. Now, this is Bleach chapter number 546, entitled The Last 9 Days. Now, the chapter starts off where Keigo is talking to Shunsui Kiraku about the whole situation of Ichigo. He's saying like, no way, no way, no. This whole thing about what you're saying that Ichigo may not come back to the world of living, he said what you're saying now is, it's a joke basically. And he's like, playing around with Shunsui saying, not. He said, yeah, you're joking around with me. And talking about, he got like a nice kimono and whatnot. And that's when Shunsui telling him, he said, no man, this ain't a joke, this is for real. And then Keigo, he responded back to Shunsui talking about, he said, wait a minute, so why would you come here to the world of the living and you talking to us in a tone that may sound like you're joking? He said, he's starting to get offensive to Shunsui, and he's talking about like, he said, I bet you're the one who put Ichigo in this whole situation. And then he's like, his voice starting to get he's starting to get very agitated as to what he's telling him. That's what Shunsui is telling him. Then that's when Tatsuki next to him talking about, he said, he said, cool down, Keigo. He said, cool down. And then that's when Shunsui talking, he said, you know what, yeah, you're right. The whole thing about Ichigo, him coming to Soul Society and then want to train, get get stronger, wanting to protect Soul Society and the world of living. And that's when Mizuru, he responded talking about, yeah, we already know that, that's Ichigo, so we're used to that. And then that's when he responded by saying, what do you mean by we part ways with him? And that's when Shunsui broke it down to him and to Ichigo's friends, saying that at one point, since Ichigo is in the other world, in Soul Society and the Soul Palace training very vigorously in order to gain an immense amount of power, that at one point that if he were to return back to the world of living, that it may cause a whole bunch of problems, that it may affect his world. And so basically at one point we may have to keep Ichigo in Soul Society basically for everyone else's protection. And that's when Keigo got very basically offended for what he was trying to tell him. He just got very angry and just grabbed Shunsui by his Shiakusha, talking about you can, very conveniently or so, talking about how we may never be able to see Ichigo again and whatnot. Then you're saying that he may be, we may never be able to see him again. And then that's when he got real mad. And then that's when Mizuru talking about, he said, wait a minute. He said, you said this may or may not happen. He said, now, is this a probable situation? Like, is it going to happen or whatnot? And then that's when Shunsui looked over talking about, there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance of this actually happening. And he said at one point maybe like a remote chance, of this actually happening. And then that's when Tatsuki replied talking about, wait a minute, why would you come here to the world of living and talk to us like this? Like, if it's an unlikely situation, then why would you come here and talk to us about this? Then that's when he replied, said, I don't know. He said, maybe it's because it would be best for me to come here and to explain the whole situation in which Ichigo, he may like the whole idea of me coming here or whatnot, explaining it to his friends, the whole situation and whatnot. And that's when they're looking like, I think they had like a sad expression on their face or whatnot. And then that's when he had this he offered them this these 3 tickets, talking about, these are soul tickets, just in case if Ichigo were to be trapped in Soul Society, for the rest of his life and not being able to see his friends again or his family members. And this is like a just in case situation. And then that's when they're looking down, the tickets like, oh. So he said, then they said like, wait a minute, I hope you're not just giving it to us, there's other people who know Ichigo. And they said, don't worry, that's all taken care of. I already gave it to the rest of Ichigo's friends, his family members, so all that's taken care of basically. And that's when Tatsuki, she looked down her ticket, like she had that somber expression, like so it may come down to this point. And that's when Shunsui talking about, he said, no way. He said, don't even worry about he said, don't even have that sad expression on your face. He's talking about somebody said, I think said, you don't really gotta worry about this because it's not gonna happen either today or tomorrow. So basically, just relax about, just relax. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. He said, oh, and if it comes down to the point, he'll have Ichigo come to the world of the living, to rest and talk to his friends and family and whatnot. If it comes down to that point, basically. He said, I guess maybe. And that's when they're looking like, so they already know what the situation is. Then it jumps back over to Waco Mundo, where it shows Orihime. She's just sitting up on the staircase and whatnot, just drinking water or something, like a canteen. And she's looking out to the stars or whatnot. Then that's when Chad talking about like, are you tired, or he made is are you tired in no way? Like, do you need to take a break or whatnot? She said, no, I'm fine. He said, right now it just feel, so peaceful. Just sitting here and whatnot. Then that's when Chad looked like, wait a minute, what do you mean by like peaceful? We're training right now. And she said, order he made. Sometimes she say things like that out of like out of a joke or like whatnot. Then she catch herself like, oh, he said, yeah, yeah, that's what I mean, So I know we're training or whatnot, but it's just like fun to see that we humans, we go to the Wake Up Mundo, we helping out your wrong cars, helping out, everybody need to help out with the shinigamis or whatnot, getting stronger. And she said she liked these moments where we just like to protect people, basically. She said we hope that she herself wish that this can go on like forever, whatnot, without there actually being a real battle, or he may being all emotional and whatnot. And that's when Chad looking back like, so forth. And then it skips over back to Soul Society, where we see like these little shinigami, whatnot. They're like, talking, conversing, and whatnot. And at some point, you see like black reishi like energies like spewing out from like the sides. Then the next panel over, you see like this huge like spiritual like dome or something that's like encasing Soul Society. In Serete, I meant to say. But then as all this is going on, you see like the world, like their look like Serete, it's like disappearing basically. And you start seeing like the vendor like their HQ, their location is like starting to appear out of nowhere, basically. And then you see it as all this is going on. It skips up to like Akon, like back on the squad 12 barracks, basically. The Department of Institute development, their place. So I'm just rambling on, but it skips over to where Akon and everybody else in that department, they're like, wait a minute, something's not right. Like the meters are like spiking. And then while all this is going on, Juha Bach, Hoshwald, and Uryu, they're like standing, sitting back and, watch all this like, this happening right in front of their eyes. And, everyone else in Serete, all this happening. Then that's when Akon talking about, wait a minute, this ain't right. Serete is starting to vanish. And everybody's starting to get worried, down there in Serete and Soul Society as all this is going on. And then that's when Juha Bach looked back at Uryu. He said like, he said not Uryu. He said Uryu, I think it's like Uryu, like, do you remember the, what's that? Hold on. This is where I wrote down. I think it said, do you remember the Kaiser Ginseng, something like that. Then that's Uryu said, yeah, I remember that. Like the Quincy, like the Quincy Seal King, how he was revived or something like after 900 years. His heart started to beat after 900 years. His intellect gained after 90, and then his energy, came back after 9 years. Then that's when Juha Bach told him, say, this is a sequel to that little that little phrase, what he was saying. So as he said that again, he said in the end, he said the world, he took over the world or something in 9 days. And so while all this whole thing was just happening in front of their eyes, that's when Juha Bach responded back to Uryu and Hoshwald, saying Uryu, Hoshwald, he said the world, I think he said it's time to do something. Somebody said, but then that's when he said like the world. It said the world's going to end like in 9 days, basically, and that's where the chapter ends. Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to think of something else, but anyway, yeah. So that was the end of the chapter. So now let's get into this discussion. Overall, pretty good chapter. I like how it all, came together, basically. Like how it continued from last chapter, and then it progressed forward from that point on, just like, interesting things, so forth. Of course, there's no fighting and whatnot. Like I say 1,000 times. I know you heard it. I know you guys heard me say it 1,000 times that I really don't care if there's a fighting sequence or not. I still like the chapters as long as it get produced and the story progresses. Basically, that's all I care for. I like the whole. I like the whole idea that Juha and Uryu and Hoshra, the Quincy's, they're starting to plan their second attack, basically, and how we get to see for the first time, them doing this whole thing like Serete, while Ichigo and the others, they're out there, training or whatnot. Oh, sorry. Now, I want to see what's really going to happen at this point, because as Akon had said, that Serete started to vanish. basically, and it started to push. I think, Sarate wasn't, don't get an idea, like it was destroyed or anything. I know you guys don't think that, but it's not destroyed, obviously. I mean, it would seem too fast for them to destroy Sarate and it all be over with. That'd be idiotic. But no, I think Sarate is like being moved over somewhere else, I guess. I'm not sure what's going on at this point. So, I had to read this chapter a couple times, like, So, like, basically, Sarate is being, like, pushed somewhere else, I guess. And then the Vendor Reich, their civilization basically is starting to, like, come over the Sarate, based in Soul Society, and they're starting to take over slowly, basically for their second onslaught in Soul Society. So that was pretty interesting. You get to see Juha Bak with Hashra and Uryu, by his side as they continue on with their plans, basically to destroy all the Shinigami and Soul Society and basically, take over the world of living and so forth. So I like how their plan is starting to progress forward, and all that. So that's pretty cool. And of course we get to see back over on Wako Mundo. I know you guys really don't care too much about, Order Hime and Chad A converse and whatnot, but I thought in this chapter we were at least going to see, Grimjow, my dog Grimjow, and possibly the other wrong cards that we know from the past arcs that weren't killed off, But in the future we're gonna see them, obviously. But I was just like anxious about trying to read this chapter. I said, yeah, we're gonna finally see Grimjow when he jump back over to Wako Mundo. But like, nah, it was too short. Like, damn, another day. Kubo always teasing us and jump. But yeah, pretty much. Oh, this is, to me, it's a pretty good chapter. I know some people probably say this is like a boring chapter or whatnot, but like I said, like I said before, good chapter or whatnot. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else I'm trying to cover real quick. Yeah, there's pretty much really ain't much to talk about in this chapter. It's basically everything's progressing forward. Like I said earlier in this video about Shunsui talking to them, now they got soul tickets, they can go back and forth and visit Ichigo, all that. But that's pretty much what I got to say for this chapter. Now, predictions for the next chapter's gonna come out, I think next week. I'm not sure if the chapter's gonna come out. I think it's gonna be on break. Okay, it did say like it's gonna be on break until whenever it comes back. So I think next week I think the chapter gonna come out. So whenever the chapter comes out, hope this come up with some good predictions as to what the next chapter is going to be like. Obviously, I believe it's going to take on from the point of where Juha Bak and Hashra and Uryu, from that point on, as to what's going on in Sarate and Soul Society, then it would just continue on forward from that, basically. So that's going to get pretty interesting. And then it's going to continue on back to Ichigo and his training and so forth and all of the situations and so forth. Then we get to see some people that we haven't seen in a while. For example, Yoruichi. I know I said it before in my past video, but please, I want to see Yoruichi again. Okay, she's fine as hell. I want to see her again. I know you guys want to see her again, but I definitely want to see her again. Okay, I really want to see her again. It's been so long. I just got to see her again. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for today of this week's chapter. Like I said, interesting and whatnot. Just waiting for till the next chapter comes out. It's gonna be far more interesting, all that. So I know you guys waiting for it. So leave your thoughts and concerns at the bottom, in the comments section down below. Give me ideas, predictions as to what the next chapter is gonna be like, all that. So I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are. So we'll just have to wait until Kubo is done after his break and whatnot. So guys, until next time, I'm signing out. See you later.